We invite you to watch how we clear the views on all matters through our partner station MITV on DSTV channel 255, 7 p.m. daily, and also our YouTube and Facebook pages under one name, Clearview News Desk every day. We call it the People's News, as we are available to come over and cover your events upon notice. Or do you have news you want us to broadcast? Send it in. We verify and go to town with it. All for you. Go ahead, engage us to thrash out those naughty issues on the news. And what we need from you is to share and subscribe. More important, convince your loved ones, friends, relatives, co-worshippers, and more to subscribe so as to be getting notifications as we break the news. Go a step further, like the news, and drop your thoughts on the comment section. Clearview News. We clear the view one time and for all time.
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Redeemed Christian Church of God suspends pastor following allegations of homosexuality. Abuja Federal High Court restrains Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing monthly financial allocations to Rivers State government. Not less than 51 people reportedly die in devastating flash floods in southeastern Spain. I'm Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik of the Federal High Court Abuja has stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) from further releasing monthly financial allocations to the Rivers State government. Justice Abdul-Malik held that the receipt and disbursement of monthly allocations since January this year by the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, was a breach of the Constitution and an aberration that must not be allowed to continue. The judge held that the presentation of the 2024 budget by Fubara before a 4-member Rivers House of Assembly was an affront to the constitutional provision. Justice Abdul-Malik specifically said that the governor's action was a gross violation of the 1999 Constitution. The judge subsequently restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Accountants General of the Federation, Zenith Bank and Access Bank from further allowing Fubara to access money from the Consolidated Revenue and Federation account. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has reassured Nigerians of its commitment to conducting a free, fair and credible governorship election in Ondo State on November 16, 2024. Resident Electoral Commissioner in Ondo State, Oluwatoyin Babalola, gave the assurance at the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room Dialogue session held in Abuja. The report.
Ondo State boasts of 18 local government areas and a total of over 2 million registered voters. The REC emphasized that INEC is aware of its duty to conduct a free, fair and credible election, reaffirming the Commission's commitment to achieving its goal, adding that significant progress has been achieved in preparations to ensure a seamless electoral process. The Commission has distributed 61,919 permanent voters' cards to registered voters and deployed the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) in all 3,933 polling units, while arrangements have been concluded for transportation and the engagement of security personnel.
As we approach this election, INEC Ondo State is fully aware of its mandate to deliver free, fair, credible, and inclusive election that accurately reflects the will of the people of Ondo State. There are 13 activities in the timetable and schedule of activities for the election. 10 out of these activities have been concluded.
Yunus Ayawu, convener of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room, noted that the responsibility of observer missions extend beyond election day. Its goal is to identify areas of weakness, challenges, and report irregularities to relevant agencies.
INEC has a mandate to deliver free, fair, and credible elections. But when elections go bad, it is INEC that we see at the front. If it works well, it is INEC that would scope the laurels. As civil society organizations who are concerned and committed Democrats, we are interested in ensuring that elections are free, fair, and credible.
Because of the concern that we all have, in 2023 we all saw that the country was deluged by international and Nigerian observers. Several observers wrote reports about the elections. So we would urge you to put in your very best to give us an election that is not as contested as a Edo was.
The Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room dialogue session is aimed at fostering interaction between civil society groups, the REC, and the police. The event also sought to address potential issues arising during the election and promote a peaceful and credible governorship election. The initiative is supported by the United Kingdom Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office (FCDO). With stakeholders' collaboration towards a successful election, Ondo State residents can look forward to exercising their democratic rights in a secure and transparent environment. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk.
The Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, has announced the suspension of Pastor Ayorinde Adebello following allegations of homosexuality. The suspension, which also includes another pastor, was communicated through an official memo signed by the RCCG's National Overseer, Pastor Sunday Akonde. According to the memo, the RCCG has initiated a thorough investigation into the allegations against Adebello and the second pastor, temporarily relieving both individuals of their responsibilities within the church. Akonde underscored that the RCCG strictly upholds biblical teachings, which he stated do not permit any form of homosexuality. Adebello responded to the allegations on Instagram, denying involvement in any acts of sodomy, asserting that his previous silence on the matter had been misinterpreted as a sign of guilt. He claimed that his comments in a WhatsApp conversation, which went viral, were taken out of context. The pastor clarified that the discussion in question focused on issues of male reproductive health and self-esteem within a teenage WhatsApp group, which he insists was misconstrued. Now, rape is the gravest and most serious kind of sexual assault and is punishable with imprisonment for life, with or without whipping. But many victims are not coming forward to report witch assault as a result of what is generally viewed as stigma. As a result of this, offenders go free and even feel like champions, while the victims appear humanly subdued. Violence against women and girls continue to grow at an alarming rate. In 2020, a total of 11,200 rape cases were reported. Some of these included children who were raped to death. In a 2020 survey conducted by the United Nations, about 43.5% of female children were given out in early marriages. 18.4% suffered from female genital mutilation. 17.4% suffered from lifetime physical or sexual intimate partner violence. The report also shows that 1 in every 3 girls would have experienced at least one form of sexual abuse by the time they reach 25 years. The world today is changing, but unfortunately, sexual assault is still happening every single day. People are beginning to talk about it more, but it is still not reaching a point where there is a solution. Despite increased advocacy campaigns against rape and other forms of violence against women in the last few years, one still wonders why rape appears to be a fashionable trend in the Nigerian society. Clearview Television interacted with some Nigerians on the street on the causes of this plague, which is threatening to eat up our world.
The mainstream media, the content, entertainment content that we watch these days, also sexualize the female object. The female gender. The female gender. They sexualize them. And then there is an angle from the drug abuse path. There's an angle, okay, where young people abuse drugs and then begin to have so many ideas running in their heads.
The rape issue again, the alcohol, that is the different type of alcohol that we have these days, you know, they tend to make the body react anyhow.
A lot of ladies today, they are no longer dressing proper. And if you see somebody who is a randy type or who has a very high sexual libido that see a lady dressing half naked in a very tight place, he will definitely make the attempt.
So, what can be done to end this ticking time bomb that is fast threatening the nation's future?
So it boils down to upbringing. It boils down to roles by traditional and religious institutions. Government can only do the bit. Whoever is found wanting of rape charges will face justice.
What we're advocating now is more enforcement of the law. We're advocating education for the mothers of most of these children who don't even know their rights. Some of them want to protect their marriages, and so because the offenses are happening within their marriages, fathers are raping their children. So they want to protect their marriages and they don't want to speak up. Some are simply just afraid of their lives and don't want to speak up. So the government and the law should protect the victim.
Aside the law being implemented, it also comes down to the individual also, like, you know, the mode of dressing, your timing. If you go out, you come back early, and the areas you follow.
As long as sexual harassment and assaults continue to happen, and as long as people out there still think it is even slightly okay, then everyone is still in danger. To help reverse the ugly trend, concerned Nigerians and stakeholders have called for the need for all hands to be on deck to save women, children, the future, and the world at large. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview Television. Plan International Nigeria has marked a decade of advocating for girl-child education and rights with a commitment to empowering young girls and children in Nigeria. Speaking to journalists at a press briefing, Country Director, Plan International, Charles Usie said the organization has made significant strides in supporting girl-child rights and education over the past decade. Clearview's Florence Joshua brings us details.
Since its establishment in Nigeria in 2014, Plan International has implemented 127 projects across 19 states, focusing on humanitarian and developmental initiatives. Currently, the organization has 24 active projects supporting young girls, their families, and communities. Notably is the 103 projects which have been completed to benefit over 36 million people. Plan International has made significant investments in Nigeria with a sum of over 180 million euros, approximately 100 billion naira, mobilized from its global offices to directly impact the lives of Nigerian children and families. The organization's efforts have reached numerous communities, including Sokoto, Borno, and Plateau.
Now, we are a humanitarian and a development international organization. So what have we done? We have projects, actually, that covers, the key sectors of social transformation of particularly women, girls, and children. So we have invested heavily in education in Nigeria. Education is one of our huge investment areas. We have supported the construction and rehabilitation and even building of classroom blocks. As at the last count, we have only in the Northeast, we have renovated, built, and furnished over 517 schools. So education is a central theme to what we do because we believe that when children, especially girls, are well educated, informed, and given the right skills, they will grow up, they will thrive, they will live, and then they will be able to be productive to themselves and to the nation. We have invested heavily in the sexual reproductive health of especially women, girls, and children across different states in Nigeria. We are handing over 40 primary healthcare centers in Sokoto alone. So healthcare remains a significant part of our work and investment in Nigeria. We are their biggest agents for food distribution and engagement for people who are displaced, to get daily subsistence food. 3 years ago, we created for the very first time ever anywhere in the world a platform which we call the Shadow Country Director. What does this mean? What it means is that every year at the celebration of the International Day of the Girl in October 11th, through a competitive process, we will pick a young girl who must be below 24 years old. And this young girl was going to work with me as a country director for the 1 year. She will shadow me. The idea is to expose her to the concept and the experience of leadership.
I'll shadow country director for a year, and I honestly don't think I can put my experience into words. No matter how much I want to explain what it felt like, I don't think I can explain how much the experience changed me. There's something it does to the mind. It opens you to a new world of possibilities. Now,
while education remains a cornerstone of Plan International initiatives, the organization has constructed and renovated over 517 schools in the Northeast region, ensuring access to quality education for young girls. In addition to education, Plan International prioritizes sexual and reproductive health for women and girls, integrating these services into its programming. This comprehensive approach ensures holistic support for young females across Nigeria. Globally, Plan International has been working towards advancing the rights of children and equality for the girl child for over 85 years, with presence in 75 countries. As Plan International Nigeria celebrates its milestone, it reaffirms its commitment to empowering young girls, promoting their rights and enhancing educational opportunities in northern Nigeria. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk.
If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
We break the news.
This is Christ Embassy.
Recollect, we were the first to break this. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs. And this?
Erasmus is the most successful program of the European Union to support education and youth.
And this?
Fubara is not an ungrateful person.
And more.
Tension is currently mounting in Rivers State. The planned arraignment of Yaya Bello.
Across our platforms. Subscribe now and you will be receiving our notifications and never left out as the news breaks on Clearview.
You're welcome back. Stakeholders in Nigeria's health sector have stressed the need for government at all levels to urgently prioritize the nation's healthcare system to reduce the growing burden of non-communicable diseases in Nigeria. Discussions centered around the need for increased taxation on sugar-sweetened beverages, legislation and effective implementation of existing laws were among issues highlighted at the Second National Conference on SSB Tax and Healthcare Financing, organized by the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare in partnership with the Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, CAPA. The report.
Nigeria has for several years witnessed a high prevalence of non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, cancer, obesity, weight gain, kidney diseases and other cardiovascular diseases, accounting for about 24% of total deaths recorded every year. The consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages, also known as SSBs, which include carbonated and non-carbonated soft drinks, fruit juices, coffee, or any artificial sugar-sweetened beverage, have in many scientific researches and studies been proven to be a major contributor to the burden of NCDs in the country due to its high consumption among many middle and low-income households who unfortunately have limited access to healthcare facilities. In 2021, Nigeria keyed into the World Health Organization's recommended taxation policy on SSBs as a cost-effective intervention to control the rising burden of NCDs in countries across the world by announcing the implementation of an excise tax of 10 naira per litre on all sugar-sweetened beverages as part of efforts to prevent and discourage its excessive consumption among Nigerians. Although the initiative was initially greeted as a welcome development, health advocates are concerned that the tax can no longer achieve the desired impact of curbing sugar-related diseases in the country. At the second National Conference on SSB Tax and Healthcare Financing in Nigeria, organized by the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare in partnership with the Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa (CAPA), stakeholders say an increase in the tax on sugar-sweetened beverages is necessary if Nigeria truly wants to be free from the burden of non-communicable diseases that have spanned decades.
Recent review and mental analysis of the International Diabetics Foundation show that as at 2021, over 3.6 million people are diabetic, with 53% of these citizens undiagnosed, and this number is expected to rise to about 5 million by the year 2020. The annual estimated cost of managing diabetes per person has surged from an average of 60,000 naira in 2011 to 800,000 naira in 2021, and it is projected to exceed 1 million by 2030. The goal of SSB tax is to reduce the consumption of these unhealthy beverages, ultimately preventing obesity and its related diseases.
After 2 years of implementing the 10 naira per litre SSB tax, we strongly advocate, based on available evidence, evaluating its impact, that the Nigerian government activate all necessary policy measures to increase the tax from 10 naira to 130 naira per litre, or implement a completely revised tax structure to 50% of the total retail price of SSB as recently recommended by the Global Task Force for Health, of which our Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health is a member. The adjustment will not only align with the WHO's recommendation and global best practice, but that 2024 report on effective health taxes. Additionally, this increment was accompanied by a redefinition of SSB to capture all products that were excluded in the initial categorization.
Now, there is a myth about taxes on sugar-sweetened beverages, that it is intended to be a burden either to the public, the economy, or government, or even all three. But I would like to share today that, on the contrary, SSB tax is a pro-health tax targeted at improving health outcomes and boosting the economy if you have the right tax set and well implemented.
We must strive to create an environment where healthy dietary choices are the norm, supported by appropriate policies and robust health systems. Healthy diets are crucial for promoting health, supporting active lifestyles, and preventing diseases, including both communicable and non-communicable ones.
Stakeholders say an increase in the current SSB tax from 10 naira per litre to 130 naira per litre will create an additional 900 billion naira in revenue to finance the country's health sector for the prevention and management of NCDs.
Moving over to the foreign scene, at least 51 people have reportedly died after torrential rain caused devastating flash floods in southeastern Spain in the town of Chiva near Valencia, where more than a year's worth of rain fell in just 8 hours, and the local officials have said it is impossible to put a final figure on the number of people who have perished. Meanwhile, footage uploaded to social media shows flood waters causing chaos in the wider region, knocking down bridges and dragging cars through the streets. Another video appears to show people clinging to trees to avoid being swept away. Much of the country has been badly hit by heavy rain and hailstorms, triggering rapid flooding across multiple areas. However, more than 1,000 troops have been deployed to help with the rescue operation, as scores of people remain unaccounted for. Local media have also reported damage and casualties in the Balearic Islands. Spain's King Felipe VI said he was devastated by the floods and sent his heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims in a post on X. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
The Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, has announced the suspension of Pastor Ayorinde Adebello following allegations of homosexuality. Justice Joyce Abdulmalik of the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria from further releasing monthly financial allocations to Rivers State government. We also told you that at least 51 people have reportedly died after torrential rain caused devastating flash floods in southeastern Spain.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.